Ancestry DNA. Very cool. So I have a rare genetic mutation, and so with that, I was very interested in getting my DNA tested. I thought, wow, I wonder, where this comes from, all of that, and who am I, and all these things. And I don't know why, genetics just kind of like flashed of being really cool. And I have a personal belief that the more we know of ourselves, then the more likely we are to kind of embrace ourselves and embrace others. I can't say I am anything other than an American that's been super mixed in all sorts of things, which there's a lot of loving going on, which is awesome. And I do love that. I love that people came together culturally, location, all of that, and just said, hey, let's have some kids, and here we go, and here I am, right? So, Ancestry DNA. This was my first one. I've taken a couple DNA tests since then. I didn't do the unveiling boxing thingy. I mean, whatever, because I wasn't thinking of it then. Anyhow, so I do have my ethnicity estimate, and I'm going to give you this one. I'll make another couple videos. I want you to see my 23andMe, because I did that. And also taking the raw data from both of these and putting them in a health DNA, like, I guess, generator or something. I don't know what it is, but it is amazing. And it's called Prometheus. I'm going to do a video on that, and I think, it's very awesome. Anyhow, in the meantime, I'm going to go over my Ancestry DNA. So my ethnicity estimate, 56% Great Britain. Here, I'm going to do this. I don't know if anyone can even see this. And Scandinavian, we already knew that. 27%. Europe South, 7%. Europe West, 4%. Ireland, Scotland, Wales, that is a 2%. Iberian Peninsula, 2%. European Jewish, 1%. Europe East, less than 1%. Kind of interesting, right? I know what they do is they collect their data, and they have like subsets of people that they can actually, go from, and that's what they're kind of going from, this, pool of genes from this people from Africa, this person from Great Britain, this, that, this, that. I know that the study of DNA is not, completed. It's an ongoing thing. They're learning. They've got certain pools to go from. So I don't see them as hard and fast. I mean, they can be off a little bit. That's absolutely fine. It just kind of gives you an idea. I know that they also had a video where you, so I could be 56% from Great Britain, and that's like Scotland or whatever included, obviously. Let's see here. It says United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales. Also, anyway, it goes on. So the thing is I could have 40% from there, and then, or 50, sorry, and then my sister could have like 20% from there, because when you get your genes from your parents, you get 50-50, right, essentially. So of those 50, it doesn't mean, so we'll just say for my mom's side, so maybe she has these, and interestingly enough, my mom has a small percentage of Japanese. I got zero on mine, right? And yet maybe that percentage went to one of my sisters. Who knows? So that's the interesting thing, is you don't get all of it. It's like reaching into a Skittles bag. Skittles, I know. But anyway, my example. Sometimes you could have, the number isn't the same, essentially. You could get some reds, yellows, whatever. You're going from the same bag, but you're pulling out different numbers of different things. So that is kind of how they do the mix on there. I found it interesting, the Jewish. My mom is LDS, Mormon, and she is from Utah and does tons of Ancestry stuff. And a couple of my siblings do it too. Very cool. And I'm finding it very interesting. Just when I have more time, I'll probably do some. But there were actually a lot more Jewish people in our family, and then I got 1%. So who knows? You don't know, right? Um, it is interesting to me because there are some things that you need to be aware of. I know that my Polycythemia Vera, they did say one thing that it was slightly more prevalent in people who have Jewish ancestry. I can't say yes or no whatsoever, but I wasn't surprised that I had Jewish in me whatsoever. I was surprised by the 1%. Um, and the funny thing is I like religions. I like to study kind of all of them, and I'm not like insanely studying in them. I just find them culturally um, important. I find that people, religion, it's like a language. Part of our language is from religious things, adios, go with God, right? I mean, you have all these wonderful, things that go along with religion, and they make people who they are. And so I like studying Judaism. I like Christianity. I mean, Islam. I mean, all of them. I find them very fascinating. Hinduism is really fascinating. Same with Buddhism. Anyway, I could go on. They're all pretty fascinating, right? Because they all have a similar story. And I like knowing that someone in my history had this belief and maybe was with someone who didn't have the same belief, and they're fine. They're just fine being together. And that, I know, it's DNA and all of that, but it does make me happy thinking people can think differently and are just fine and loving and accepting something very personal and spiritual. Total side note. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so it did say that I has a migrations on the Ancestry DNA, and it's from the Mormon pioneers in the Mountain West. Very true. I'm definitely from Utah. If you go to Utah, I mean, there's so many people. We all kind of look the same in a really weird way. I feel like, at least, right? Blonde hair, blue eyes, prevalent. I mean, what in the world? I think it's kind of like Ohio or something where you have a bunch of Scandinavian people just kind of, you know. Anyhow, so that one's one interesting point. They were able to kind of track that. I really liked Ancestry DNA just because it gives you the maps and it gives you a little history of the area. Things I wasn't super fond of. Once you buy the kit, and it gives you this, this history, and that's great. And it's very like plug in for everyone. You're from Europe, so here's your information, blah, blah, blah. If you want to use their Ancestry.com, that's expensive over time. I mean, maybe the initial price wasn't so expensive, but over time it costs more to have like a family tree and to really delve into it. So therefore I went to 23andMe. Number one, I'm very curious, and I wanted to see, differences and, whatnot. And so I am going to make a quick video for you about 23andMe and give you some of that information. I will be posting, snapshots so you can see my information. And I think it'll be really cool when I lead up to Prometheus. I think you'll like it. I hope this kind of makes you want to go out and do something and find out more about you so you can do it. I have to quickly mention I'm doing a legacy project for my son, and part of that was get my DNA tested. Whether you're here or not, if you're not here to give the DNA, which may be very important to him in the future or your kids in the future, that's kind of a like, oops, should have done. So I am taking care of these things. He will have this record. If he has any health issues or anything in the future, he's got something, a reference point. So it's actually, I see it kind of as, this is great and fascinating, and I can learn more about the history and all the loving that everyone had and how great it was that people got together. Happy, happy, joy, joy. And here's for my son in the future, any reference point that he may need. So beautiful, wonderful, helpful.